Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading this is your bonus reading for May 2025. You have this crescent moon card. It says the crescent moon, it says the crescent moon. As the moon grows, so can your wealth, health, happiness. Stay positive. You have this focus card. It says it's difficult to be productive when your energy is scattered in so many directions. Neptune in your sign here, Aries, definitely could be making you feel a little bit scattered and, all that other good stuff. Although you have the Eight of Wands here in the area of what's on your mind. This top position is the area of your thoughts. So, the Eight of Wands is very focused energy. Now, it could still say that you are out of focus because the Eight of Wands, we have to pick a direction more or less. And, right away, kind of like the first bit of advice that I could give you based off this reading is to just pick one direction and make it happen this month, whatever it is. It could be like a project that you're working on. It could be like an idea that you have. It could be anything that you want to accomplish. But again, if you are finding yourself scattered, I think it would be much, much better for you to just like pick one thing. And even if you're afraid to commit to it and make it happen. For how you enter into this reading with this first card, you have the Queen of Cups. Pretty good, actually, because Queen of Cups is very heart-based. She's holding this cup here. And I always say that cup doesn't look like a cup. It looks like a trophy. And so the Queen of Cups really values her heart. She values what her heart is feeling. And I feel that a lot of you, if you could follow your heart, or you even have the Ace of Wands coming up, if you could follow something that is inspirational to you and work on that this month, I feel you'll have a much better month. It won't be so out of focus. It'll be much more clear on like what you're supposed to be doing. I also feel it could be very intuitive. Like I kind of feel for you, Aries, that you could be having those moments where you're questioning your intuition and like you're saying, like, is that a message, or is that a synchronicity, or is it not? And I feel like, yes, it is. So I kind of feel the Queen of Cups in your reading is saying, like, trust your first gut instinct on, like, everything that is happening. If you are thinking about an idea and you see, like, 11:11 on the clock or something like that, it is probably definitely a synchronicity, so I would be paying attention to those things, and I wouldn't, like, second guess them. I think that if you do, you might end up more confused. So, that's what I would say here with the Queen of Cups. Next, for your crossing energy, this is the energy of what can hurt you or help you in a Celtic cross. You have the Devil. The Devil can represent needing to get rid of like any energy vampires, which I kind of feel is a theme for you, Aries. I'm pretty sure that we talk about this with you all the time, that, if there's anything that is stealing your energy, or if there's anything that drains you after you do it, you probably shouldn't be doing it. With the Devil card. So I would be looking at the things that are draining your energy. This could also be a person as well. So, or multiple people, really. And I would get those energy drainers out of your life, right? I would make sure that you're doing things that, motivate you, that give you energy, and I would avoid this at all cost. The other thing is that we have 3 Wands cards here so far, and, and you definitely have a majority of Wands cards, even though it's only 3 cards. And so I would say that, creativity sometimes comes up with the Devil. These people have these animal horns on their heads. And the animal horns represents their baser instincts, like the root chakra energy. Sometimes I feel that the Devil represents blocked creativity. We have to like bring that energy up to our heads and express it into the world. So if you are thinking about creating anything at all, period, I would get to work on whatever it is. Like I would start creating, and get that energy unblocked. And, sometimes we have to do something like go for a walk to get unblocked, or we have to go, do a hobby or something like that. So, working on getting unblocked would be a really good idea. Next, in the area of your thoughts or what's on your mind, you have the Eight of Wands. Again, I do like this. Eight of Wands, we can't pull in 2 directions. So with that focus card, if you are like telling yourself, like, I can accomplish this thing I want to accomplish, but you're also talking about all the reasons you can't, that is pulling in 2 directions. We have to make sure everything is aiming in one direction with the Eight of Wands. And if we do that, we will definitely be successful. So I would watch your words. I would, watch your thoughts. I don't even think we have to be perfect. Again, I don't think, I don't think there's any energy in life that's about being perfect. We just have to try. I always say, even if you're just like 51% to the positive, I think that's enough, right? So when you have that negative self-talk or whatever you want to call it, as long as you catch it and correct it, I feel that you'll be pointing in one direction. The other thing that I feel sometimes with the Eight of Wands is to like not worry, so don't get too caught up on like the how or the order that things are happening. All these wands are in different positions on this card. So it's like coming up in the area of your thoughts, you might think like, oh, I'm going to go start this business, or I'm going to work on this creative project, or I'm going to go talk to this person. And you might have a certain like order on how you think things are going to go, or you might just have a story about how you think things are going to go. The Eight of Wands sometimes says like, it doesn't matter how it goes. It doesn't matter if like one thing happens before another, or if things go a different way, right? As long as things are moving forward. So don't get too caught up on the order of things. And that's definitely popping into my head with the Eight of Wands, is that it would be better for you to get started on something than it would to be like to get caught up on something that's keeping you stuck. It's like, I always say like I teach YouTube on the weekends. And a lot of times people will say to me, like, I have a video done, but I don't have a banner for my channel. Like, and so since I don't have a banner, I'm stuck and I haven't started my channel. I'm like, just publish the freaking video. The banner doesn't matter right now. Just get the momentum moving forward. It's like once you get started, the momentum starts moving, then you'll figure everything else out. And I get that feeling on the Eight of Wands. In the area of your foundation, you have the Six of Pentacles. I don't know, I feel weird about this in a good way. I don't feel Six of Pentacles energy here. Six of Pentacles is like equal give and take. It can represent planting seeds in a direction. It can represent, getting, things growing in your life as well, which I do feel you are probably doing here, Aries, based off this reading. But, I kind of just feel it's almost like saying to me that you already have done some work to build something up in your life, and you've already kind of like started to make progress. So I guess I just feel progress on this Six of Pentacles, which is great. With the Devil, I would definitely be careful of people. This guy here has something in his back pocket, and we kind of have a saying, right, that if a person has something in their back pocket, that they have ulterior motives, and this has come up for a couple other signs as well. So we need to be careful, I think, of other people, like what their true motives are at this time, especially if they want to like work with us, or if they want to date us or whatever. I think we need to make sure that we're not just listening to what they say. We need to really look at their actions and really say, okay, this is a person that I can work with. Or if you look at their actions and they're lazy, maybe not, right? So I think you really have to kind of do your research as far as people are concerned, and you need to make sure that they are who they say they are. This goes for love, money, business, everything. Next, in the area of your past, you have this full moon in Libra. It says a win-win outcome is forecast. You have this new moon in Libra. It says a new romantic cycle begins. So even though this is coming up in the past position, I do kind of feel that there could be new romance coming in for you. We don't really see a person here, but, I kind of feel you could actually be attracting multiple people. The Eight of Wands is like talking to a bunch of people. So, you could have multiple people entering into your life at this time. And I feel, two Libra cards plus the Six of Pentacles, which has a balance. He's holding on to that balance right there. And so looking at people's true intentions is what is going to lead to a win-win for you here, Aries. I do also feel some of you could just be creating a win-win in your life in general. Also in the past, sorry, I'm choking on my own spit now. You have the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a change in direction. He's looking at those Seven Pentacles and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze, right? Is it worth it for me to keep working on these Seven Pentacles, or should I make a change? I feel that you've been ready to make a change for a very long time, Aries. It's like a very obvious message to me for Aries, because Aries is being asked to level up literally at this time. So, whatever. It's like you're taking something to the next level. That doesn't mean, as I always say to you, and the reason I always say this to you, Aries, sorry, and someone asked me this the other day, why do you always say this to Aries? The reason I always say that you don't necessarily have to quit a job is because I think all the other signs, like they are making changes, but they literally could be quitting a job or quitting a business and starting something new. I don't feel that is true for Aries. Like, you're one of the few signs that I don't think that's true for. You could be, and if you want to, by all means. But I feel that really it's like upgrade time for Aries. You could just be taking something that you have been working on for a long time and bringing that to the next level. And I feel that would be great. Like, anything you can do to enhance what you've already done would be a big thing. So that's definitely something I would think about with that card. Next, in the area of the very near future, you have this talisman. It says you are destined to succeed. Love it. You have this Caduceus card. It says you will receive news from afar. So there could be good news. Almost every single sign has had like good news coming in. And you also have the Eight of Wands, which could also represent like communication or news coming in for you. The Caduceus is like the staff of Hermes, and it represents communication. It's Mercury. So there definitely could be a lot of communication coming in for you at this time, but really I feel there is success as well. Also in the very near future, you have the Five of Swords, just probably walking away from things that no longer serve you with the Devil card. I get this like sense of guilt here, Aries. I think you need to be careful. I say I think because I don't really feel this necessarily, but I kind of do. That there could be certain people that try to guilt you into staying in something or try to guilt you into, kind of working with them or, try to guilt you into something else. So I would be careful. I think that should be a clue to you that if they're trying to guilt me into something, it's probably not right? And I just get that feeling off the Five of Swords. That's pretty much it. Next, in your outcome row, you have this Chaos and Conflict card. You have this Go the Distance card. Yes, it's definitely time for you to succeed here, Aries. Like I have been saying, it looks to me like you could be having a big win. Now, that doesn't mean that there won't be chaos and conflict. Sometimes to win, we have to create a little bit of chaos, or we have to create a little bit of conflict. The other thing I get here is that it could just be other people. Again, I'm a big believer that, I don't think people are necessarily bad, but sometimes I think people can be unhealthy, or they just don't want us to leave. I always tell a story, like in high school, I had a friend, he was going to move out of his house like 20 times, maybe not that many, but it was a bunch. And every time he was about to move out of his house, his mom would like mysteriously get sick or end up in the hospital or something like that. It was like really unhealthy. Like she just didn't want him to leave. She was perfectly fine, right? It was kind of a little creepy actually, but eventually he just had to like go and just do it. So, he had to create a little bit of chaos to set himself free. And I kind of get that feeling here. With the Go the Distance card, yes, it's definitely time for you to finish things. So a lot of you could be finishing like projects or kind of like completing things or seeing things through to the end that you have been working on. Next, in the area of the next few months, you have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. This castle in the background is meant to look like it's crumbling. So it can just represent out with the old, in with the new. It can represent a new inspiration. It can represent growth as well. And I feel over the next few months, you could be doing a lot of growing, for sure. You could also be feeling much more motivated. We do see some cards here that go the distance card, for example. The win-win card as well. I feel these cards could really be motivating you to kind of follow your inspirations, which is exactly what we should be doing with the Ace of Wands. We have to be motivated with the Ace of Wands because the Ace of Wands is only a spark. We have to keep putting wood on the fire to get it to grow. So we have to be motivated to get whatever this is working. And, again, I definitely think the motivation is here. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Hermit. The Hermit can represent being in hermit mode. So I think it's time to get out of hermit mode because this is the area of your closest relationships, which is all relationships. Now, some people you definitely, with the Devil, you definitely might want to be avoiding, but I feel like the Hermit is saying like, okay, you've been through a dark night of the soul. Now it's time to shine your inner light and it's time to attract like the right people into your life. A lot of people seem to be doing this right now. I kind of blame Neptune and Pisces. Even though Neptune is in Aries, it will be retrograding into Pisces. Plus, we've dealt with it for almost 14 years. So that Neptune and Pisces energy, it changes our beliefs. Neptune and Pisces is a direct challenge to traditional belief, things that we have always believed. So if we're changing our beliefs, obviously, there might be people we don't resonate with anymore. And I feel like the Hermit is saying it's time to find like the new people that you do resonate with so that you can build a new group of people that can support you or help you or, support your belief system or whatever the case may be. Next, in the area of your future feelings, you have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is conflict or competition. I always say that the fives have very easy solutions. In the tarot, the solution of the Five of Wands is to learn from the competition, and I would definitely recommend it with the Five of Wands. I think you learning how to overcome the competition or you learning from the competition would be a really great idea with this card. I also feel that some of you just could be entering into competition, but you're an Aries. So I'm not really too worried about it. I think that you could be doing things to rise up or to take control or to take the lead, and that would be a good thing. You have the Four Cups as your outcome. Four Cups is about contemplation and apathy. He's not accepting this new cup into his life because he's been disappointed at least 3 times before. But he needs to realize that this new opportunity, he can mix together what he learned from these 3 opportunities, and he can apply it to this new opportunity, and he can be much more successful. So the 4 Cups is really part of like looking at the lessons you've learned and applying them to new situations. Again, sometimes I think like 5 of Swords, 5 of Wands, 4 Cups. This could be you thinking that you can't do something because you failed in the past. And the 4 Cups says like, no, actually you can succeed, and you will if you take action and if you apply what you learned to anything. With the Queen of Cups and the Devil, you have the King of Pentacles. Yes, I definitely feel like you could be attracting a person. Could be an earth sign. Could be a person who has earth in their chart here if you're looking for love. I would say it's like a very stable, like calm, cool, collected type of person is kind of what I'm getting off of this card. So it could be like a very stable person. Might actually piss you off. I don't know if you've ever been with one of those people, Aries, where it's like they don't worry about anything. It's like, it's like things happen that maybe you get pissed off about, but they don't. I don't know. I kind of get that energy on this King of Pentacles card. I think this is also good for wealth building, which is definitely going to be a theme for you for years to come, Aries. For many years to come, you will be focused on like wealth building, creating more security, more stability, more predictability in your finances. You're going to be learning how to get better with your finances. Like all that stuff comes up. With the 8 of Wands, you have the 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like, which thoughts do you feed? I really feel that on that 8 of Wands. The 6 of Pentacles, he's giving to one person, not the other. It's a card of equal give and take, but really, I feel like the 6 of Pentacles is saying you need to feed the thoughts that are good and ignore the ones that hold you back, and get rid of or correct the thoughts that tell you you can't do something or you can't be something. And that's really what I'd be working on with that 6 of Pentacles. With the 6 of Pentacles in your foundation, you have the Emperor. So the Emperor is you. Actually, when you show up as yourself in the foundation position, it's really good. I can say that you are in a very strong position in the reading, and it puts you in a position of power and strength. But the Emperor is about like taking the lead, taking control of your situation, and deciding, with the 6 of Pentacles here again, you deciding like who and what to give what to is probably what you're going to be doing. It's like you're kind of like bossing up here as well in this reading. With the 7 of Pentacles, you have the World. Something is complete. The World in the past position can represent completion or bringing and having a new beginning, even because in the major arcana we go from the Fool to the World, and then we start all over again as the Fool. And we're always going on this journey, and we're always like learning new things, completing things, moving on to the next thing. And that seems to be what you're doing here with these 2 cards. With the 5 of Swords, what do you know? You have the 7 of Pentacles. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Like, the 5 of Swords can just be about walking away from something. The 7 of Pentacles can say you're looking at something you've been working on or something you've been investing in, and you are deciding maybe to walk away, or you're deciding it no longer serves you, and so you're going to move in a new direction. And I feel that could be very good for you with that 7 of Pentacles. The 7 of Pentacles is also a card of analysis. So, with the 7 of Pentacles and the 6 of Pentacles twice, this could say that you're really looking at everything that you put your time, effort, attention, money, any type of investment into, and you're really kind of like sifting and sorting, right? You're saying like, this is worth it, this isn't worth it. And, I think that, that could just be what you're doing this month. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Queen of Wands. Yes, Queen of Wands, number 1, says you're very attractive at this time, Aries. So I would definitely put yourself out there if you're trying to get into a connection or if you're trying to find love. The Queen of Wands, she follows the sun. She has this sunflower right here, and the sunflower points towards the sun. So she moves towards things that bring her like love, joy, peace, happiness, enlightenment. She moves towards her good feelings. And I feel that would be good for you with the Queen of Wands, like moving towards the right things. So that's exactly what I would do with this card. She also like has to be bold and assertive, and I don't really feel Aries has a hard time with that or a problem with that. But I would be bold and assertive on something new with the Ace of Wands. If you could act as if some new beginning is already successful, and if you could have that level of confidence, you're probably going to make it successful a lot faster. The other thing is she has this black cat right here. Black cats during the times of tarot were considered very unlucky. The whole point of her black cat is that she doesn't care what anyone thinks. She just likes the black cat. And so it's about doing things without like worrying too much what people have to say about it. So, again, if you're working on anything or doing something, again, that you have that Five of Wands. And like I said, guilt or something like that with the Five of Swords I was getting. So, there could be people who are like, I don't want you to do this. I don't want you to do that. Like, gave you the example of the mother that didn't want her son to move out, right? I think those are the things that you have to overcome. With the Hermit, you have the King of Cups. We have the King and Queen of Cups and the Hermit. So it's like someone could be coming out of Hermit mode. If you want love, you definitely could be attracting someone. And either you or them are coming out of Hermit mode. It's like maybe you're attracting a person that's been in Hermit mode for a while, and now they're kind of like getting back out into the world, which would be good. This would be a very strong emotional connection as well here, Aries. Like this, I kind of get that feeling that, remember what I said, it's like a person who doesn't worry about things. And, this could be like a very grounding energy with that King of Pentacles. They could ground you here, and, that would be a good thing. This also doesn't have to be love. This could just be a person that you're meeting, like a friend or a new friend or something like that. With the Five of Wands, you have the Knight of Cups. Definitely could be love. Knight of Cups is like a knight in shining armor. Five of Wands says this could be a person where there's a lot of competition for the person. So there you go. You could be attracting a person who is also very attractive, Aries, or something like that. The Knight of Cups really says you have to go for your dream, and this has been a repeat message for you for a while, Aries. He's standing in the desert, but he has this water flowing in front of him. So outside of love, the Knight of Cups can say, if he were to plant seeds in front of that water, they would grow. So it's like time for you to plant seeds towards your dreams, because if you do, they will grow. And the whole point of the card is that he is in the desert. So maybe you feel like what you want to work on can't work, but it can. And the Knight of Cups says so. So I would get to work. With the Four of Cups, you have the Magician. Yes, the Magician is about manifestation, of course, manifesting new reality. The Magician is about using your tools as well. He has mastery over all the suits in the tarot in front of him. So he has mastery over all the tools. And this is really a card of using the right tool for the job. So if you're trying to do something and it's not working how you want it to work, then just try a different way. If you might be using your swords and being logical, but maybe you need to use the wands and be more creative, or maybe you need to attach more emotion to something you're working on with the cups, right? And so I would just try different tools. I always pull the card he's pointing towards, which we're going to say is this one. This card says, truth be told. A lot of people have been getting this message. I actually was on a radio interview the other day with like another psychic, and they were talking about this, how they keep getting these messages about people really telling the truth, but not like telling the truth, but as in living their truth. We all have things that we probably really want to be doing with our lives that we're not doing. And so therefore, we are not telling the truth. We're not telling the truth to ourselves. And so once we start doing the things that we actually want to do as much as we can, and we start telling the truth in that sense, we can be much more successful. And that's what I would do with that card for sure, is, start living your truth. And I feel things will go much, much better. So let's see here, Aries. You have this door card, says opportunities are waiting for you. Definitely a lot of opportunity. Even just like your past readings have been talking about opportunity or new opportunities coming in. So love it. You have this December card. I always clarify these monthly cards. You have this torch card. It says spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness, and understanding. So between now and the end of the year, definitely could be a lot of spiritual growth. I mean, there is. If we look at the astrology, pretty much everyone has been, on this roller coaster of being beaten over the head with spiritual lessons for like months. And, again, the good news is like now we can use what we learned for success. And that's exactly what I would do between now and December. You have this March card. You have this dog far away. It says a distant friend is thinking of you. So if you are thinking about a person or they're popping into your head, they're probably thinking about you. So if it's a friend, might want to reach out or, touch base or whatever you want to call it with those cards. You have this tent card. It says temporary situation. I think if you are like feeling stuck or whatever, that it is temporary and you will set yourself free. And you have this chair filled. It says someone new is entering your life. Yes, definitely new love or a new connection. Looks good to me love-wise if you want it. So I would definitely go for it with this card. But this looks really good, Aries. I like the whole reading. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.